Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Get All the Science from Mars. So that's in 3 hours. Let's jump to it and start getting science. We have science. What do we have for science? For some reason those weren't done. Were they not on my action group? I guess they were, maybe not. All right. Let's get rid of that alarm. Let's look at our approach. Oh, close to the plane. I mean, we could just perform, we could have performed a maneuver to try to meet, to try to shift our plane such that we could fly by a moon, but I'm not LPG, so I'm not going to do that. LPG has demonstrated a first pass, get all the things. That is such a weird remote tech bug, that if you zoom in, it shows the cone going the other way. That's been so consistent for so long. I don't know why that happens. It freaked me out for a sec, but that's what that is. Did we use up our biosamples? I feel like we did. Yes, we did. Yes, that's right, because I was stupid. Oh well. All right, let's warp in. Warp in a bit more. So, in real life, we would actually get some interesting pictures of Phobos because we're going to come pretty close to it. Within, oh, probably about 3,000 kilometers of it, would be my guess. Let's find out. It claims that this is our closest approach, even though separation is going down. That is an interesting issue. That's interesting. Hey, Pap. All right. Just over 1,500 kilometers away, which means it's still just like a grain of sand, but, well, maybe a grain of rice. But, yeah, in real life, we would get, that would be a close flyby. We already, Pap, that's already true. The Copernicus is already setting the SOI larger. I mean, we could set it even larger, but that leads to some weird effects on conic transitions, if memory serves. Okay. Prepare for all the science. There we go. All the science. And we got a contract. Mars flyby. Congratulations. It's quite hard if you're doing a flyby. It's not hard if you capture. You have to do a slow flyby, or you have to time things right. Action group your science. And then maybe use the flight computer too. Yay biomes. Yeah, if you're doing a fast flyby, there's not a lot to get other than just, hey, we were in the SY. Eep. Oh, we're Wallace Marineris. Wallace Marineris. Wallace Marineris. Yeah, I'm trying to get my pronunciation right. It's been a while since I did Latin. Mars is not a cloudy place. Not a cloudy place at all. Let's look at comms. I assume that's correct. Yes. So we will still have comms at periapsis, so I don't have to do stuff. Pap, that sounds about right. I mean, I assume what that did was it launched to like 150 by 4500, and now it's going to coast to 4500 and raise apogee to. Sorry, 150 by 1000, and it's going to raise apogee from. It's going to do an apogee kick to raise your perigee up past apogee to 4500. Yep. In we come. It's a big old Mars below us. And so much for coming in on the light side. All right, so we're going to kiss the atmosphere. And I'm going to get ready to do things. I think we didn't actually need to come in as deep. So we're going to raise this up a little bit. I guess we're not really making a difference, are we? All right. Getting some data from the atmosphere. Hopefully we don't cook. All right, we have passed Perry Aries. We're now on our way back up. Wish I could have gotten a biosample. Oh well. Wait a minute. No, I think we'll be okay. Right, I'm diving the other craft into the atmosphere. I'm just going to have to do it without comms. All right, so let's see if we get any more science. Why are we not? Is that not a new biome? Apparently not. We already got stuff from Olympus Mons. Interesting. I wasn't paying attention before. Oops. There we go. Got a bit more. All right. So we're going to go ahead and mark this thing as debris because there's nothing else it can do for us. And now we'll go spend the science. So that's an awful lot of science. Let's invest some science. Hmm. These icons are so great. What does this give us? Ah, the big fellers. We definitely want lunar rated heat shields as soon as possible. So we can do film return from the moon. Always a lucrative thing. get some avionics. We'll get some better comms. We'll get the engines. And then we'll get the blue skies. And we now can no longer afford that. Oh, and better solar panels. We can afford that. All right, that gives us a bunch of upgrades. Let's... Oh, actually, I can still see things, so it doesn't matter. Scatterer bugs. All right. 8 points. Let's invest in some science. And we have a bunch of money, so let's... invest in a bunch more in science. How are we doing on techs? Yay, we're going to have prototype Hydrolox engines soon. Not sure it's even worth flying something with an RL-10 until I get early Hydrolox engines, but at least we're going to get them. The aphids are building because our Venus departure is in 146 days. That makes sense. Dolphin is building. I think we can spend down a little bit more. All right. How are we doing on training? Yeah, we really need to make maintenance costs bulk up a bit more. Like, that's really pretty low. Probably should go up by a factor of 100, actually. Maybe a factor of 30. And also, astronauts should go up some. Wonder whether it makes sense to start with... No. I wish we could start with pilots, but not astronauts. That would be really good. Ooh. Ooh. That's a thought. We make astronaut maintenance contingent on what training they've had. I don't know why I never thought of that last year, but totally should have done that. So that's a thing to go on the list. So if you train up your astronauts to be proficient in actual space capsules, then they get paid an astronaut salary rather than a pilot salary. Anyway, the dates of this haven't changed. It's still pretty far away. So much for that. So let's go ahead and deal with aphid 2, which will probably not give us very much science, which is sad. All right, let's do our SOI transition. It's in a day. No, it's in 2 days, effectively. Okay. Now, we want to what? How do we have no connection? Why are we flipped the wrong way? That's annoying. I didn't notice that. I thought we were oriented towards the sun. All right, I'm just gonna... Fix that. There we go. Why is persistent rotation killing my rotation every time I time warp? That's strange. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, and that would explain why we were oriented wrong, too, when we came out, because I think I started us with a spin such that we would always get some... That's so weird. Anyway. Yeah, persistent rotation is a weird, weird thing. Sometimes it works perfectly, and sometimes it does not. Let's try this again. So we have that biosample. We have that biosample. So we're going to do one in the atmosphere, which is 1 day, 1 hour, 27 minutes, 30 seconds. Perfect. So we're guaranteed to get that from the atmosphere. Everything else we can do with science alert, fine, I think. Right. Let's proceed inwards and see what we get. Oops. Apparently we have new science that I missed because it didn't take me out of warp. Not real sure. Now persistent rotation is working, despite SAS being on. It's like the reverse of what we wanted. Did it get confused about which SAS setting was which? That seems like the only explanation at the moment. Oh yes, you're quite right. Thank you, chat. All that RCSing made a big difference. 5 hours, 44 minutes, and 30 seconds. Yeah, so our time to periapse has changed. So we have to put another one in. Okay. Yeah, I think somehow it got confused about SAS. So that's fine. There's Mars. Whoop. All right, so we'll get biosample from this, and then we'll get the other biosample from the atmosphere. Pap, that's totally fine. That's why I glommed onto presets, and it wasn't my idea. It was somebody else's idea. I forget whose idea. I just liked it a lot. Good morning, Luca. Um, or Ellen, or what is your preferred short version? I don't actually know. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, so Pap, that's why I like the preset idea, particularly because it would be an utter pain to have to swap measurements between metric and imperial. Okay, cool. Call you Luca then. Oh, you can't see my thumbs up, but like there was a thumbs up involved. Um, yeah, so that's why the presets are such a good idea, because they're quite easy to implement, and it doesn't require doing god awful things to those float ranges. Um, yeah, if you could bind a KSP field to a property, then life would be great, but you can't. All right, let's see if we get any more science. Probably not. I mean, we did get a lot of science from this mission, so I'm not going to complain. Kilometers. Can we make the paw wider? I wasn't aware you could do that. I thought they auto-sized or whatever. I thought KSP was still on Unity 5.x, which means it's .NET 3.5, effectively. Apparently we need to keep, which means we need to get ship manifest up, and then we need to transfer that and that. Okay. All right. Now we have to wait until we have comms again. Yeah, as I expected, we would not have comms during that. It does Unity 5.x. That's why I said it was still on Unity 5.x or 5. Whatever, because all of Unity 5. Whatever I think is 3.5 equivalent. It wasn't until 2018 or so that they hopped up. I forget exactly. All right, we're spinning, we're spinning, we're spinning, and eventually we'll have comms again. Please tell me we're not out of juice. We're not out of juice. That's good. So, yeah, we got to wait until our comms are not, which should be now. Yes, it is now. Okay. So now we can go ahead and review stored data and do all the things. Okay, this probe too has served all its things. So we're going to make it debris. Happy retirement, little probe. It's going to a farm upstate. All right. What will KSC look like today? Blue again. Let's go into the VAB and make it not blue. And let's see if that fixes things. Yes, it does. How nice. And we have science, so let's spend it. What we're going to spend it on. What does this give us? All right, I feel like this is certainly more practically useful than second generation capsules, which gives us nothing. So we'll spend it on that. Be really nice if you didn't need a mod to actually have something useful there, but whatever. All right, so oh, that's a lot of contracts. Oh, huh, there's a third one of these. That's cool. Oh, I guess I only completed the other one once. All right, well, that's fine. Let's pick this, because we're going to do this. Oh, we can do another lunar landing. With hopefully a better lander than the crap lander I tried to do it before. Oh, that's an interesting mission to take. I think that's probably what we should do. Oh, but we need the lunar rated heat shields, don't we? Can't do that yet, because that would be a great test for Hydrolox, and we're about to get Hydrolox. I don't really see what else is a good test for Hydrolox. I guess geostationary is a decent test for Hydrolox, but asteroid landing. Yeah, that's going to be tough. Don't really know what else to do while we're waiting for training to finish. I guess we just do another lunar landing. Um, because now we have a, yeah, now we can do a controlled lunar landing. Because we have we definitely have the mass budget for it. Once we get hydrolocks. So that'll be a good test case. Yeah, why not? It gives us a year. Well, we'll wait until those things complete and the tech node's complete before we get that, and that'll extend our time out a little bit. Let's get back down to 200K again. Those complete in 19 days. We don't need the avionics yet, I think. What do improved avionics give us? They're gonna make lunar landings cooler. So yeah, we want. All right, so conveniently, that will take us till those things are almost done. Oops, wrong thing. All right, so we're going to need something to do meanwhile, because we won't have that done quite in time yet. So I guess we can just fly another WeatherSat mission and finally get rid of the 141 units. That's all? $955. That sounds more like it. Yeah, see, this pays quite well compared to... No, I guess they actually come out... All right, they come out about the same, actually. All right, let's do that. Why not? 955 units. Yeah, to make it work with procedural fairings, you'd need... Oh, you could actually... Oh, no, you could do it as a module that sat side by side and clobbered it with reflection. That would work. Yeah, you'd have to write it as a separate module. That the same, basically... So, conveniently, just clone some of those tooling modules that we have in RP-1, and instead of reading those values, write to them. And there you go. Presto. Didn't think about that, but yeah, I mean, you'd have to write the GUI for the presets and whatever else. But in terms of interfacing with proc fairings and proc parts, I already did that part, so you'll be fine. All right, so how many units of stuff do we have? We have 92 units in there. And what kind of symmetry are we talking about here? 5x symmetry, so there's 6 of you. I assume the center one is the same. It is 552. So we have half the payload we need. Well, conveniently we can just stretch it to twice as long. $176 times 6. That's a little much. What are we talking about now? 167.7. Still too much. $159.2. Alright, so that needs to go back up. Alright, so that's going to be expensive because they're untooled. How expensive? Let's find out. Quite expensive. But them's the breaks. We're not going to tool them because we're not going to fly that size again. Okay. Seems unlikely that's enough delta V for what we want to do. Seems very unlikely. What are these measurements? 1.9 and 2. And we are at 1. What? 1.1 something? I think we were somewhere around 1.13. All right, and I think we had about 150 spare, so call it 10.1 kmsec. So all right, so we need another 150 meters per second delta V or so. What level engine is this? We can upgrade it. We can now stretch this tank, which will also be expensive. Cost us another $1 million. All right, but we don't need that much delta V. We'll just stretch it to there. That's probably enough. And I think that takes us out about to where we were. All right. This all seems reasonable to me. All right. Staging. We're gonna hot stage this thing based on prior experience. Which also means we can take the retros off of the ullage motors. Does it have? Oh no, it just had RCS for ullage anyway, so that's fine. Oh, interesting, it did have ullage motors. Goodbye, ullage motors. And that gives us a little bit more delta V anyway. That looks about right. All right, we're gonna save edits. We lost all the build progress on it. Of course we did, because we made it way more expensive because of all the untooled things. But that's fine. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you've been enjoying it. I mean, I did it partly because it's a lot of fun for me to play, as you can see from these videos, but I also did it very much because I get a big kick out of how much everybody else enjoys it. So I'm so happy that you're having fun and learning, most crucially learning, because like RP-1 is one of those games that is as much about learning as about playing, and hopefully is the happy combination of both. So it is great to see it's doing its job. And on that happy note, I have to go to bed. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.